Apparently, it's super hard to get in the top 1,000. We picked up 1154 in the People's Squad and are sitting at 1,080. So close. Last year, we just found it so easy to be in that top sort of couple hundred, and yes, fell away towards the end of the season, but at least now we have been hovering or improving, because we haven't been anywhere close to the 1,000 this year. So, hats off to the People's Squad and the members in there in the Discord that have been making good decisions. And Dan Russell was a cracker. Ended up with 57 from him, and looped Joey Manu, which was cool. So it was going to be him or Valens Tafade in for, depending on how things went with Lemuelu. We might have had to play both, but thankfully Lem was fine, and we got the 49 out of him, and then looped Manu in with Karaz in the starting side. So that's a good way to do it, guys. If you have a person from that position on a bye, just pop them in that wing fullback or the center or the mid or whatever position that will be. And if you do have the extra plays, you can very much easily loop, which is cool. And especially if they have dual position like Manu does, very, very helpful. So we had some really good players. Obviously, Payne Haas there with 83. Cam Murray with the 69 was great. Moses and Harris at 50 and 46 slowed us down just that little bit, for what we would be expecting from them. But so the big score out of Russell, obviously Lemuelu's 49 was really, really solid. Cleary's captain, Johnson in there. Fafita's solid, but end up the 1154. You think with that type of score you'd be making some decent ranks, because it seems to be like a fair few people around the 1100 mark with that extra 50 points. I suppose it got us a couple hundred ranks, but was nothing crazy. We won our Community Cup matchup, our league here, by about 100 points, and we just have top 8, so they have a preliminary final and then just a grand final. So, top 4, I think, and then the bottom 4 play in a separate comp. We just have the 2 rounds to go. Round 24, round 25, I believe, is where it sets up. So we come second, we'll play against third, the AFG groupies. And I think it's the top 2 at the moment that are the best teams. And we're obviously coming home with a wet sail, us the People's Squad. We have 2 trades remaining and 25k in the bank. So in a good position, we are with the people. Okay, what will we do next, really? We've got Drinkwater out. Kiraz comes back, and then we can play Manu in the wing fullback position, which works out well. We have no other issues currently for injuries, which is nice. Preston comes back as well. So in a week where we didn't have Kiraz or Preston, to be able to score this well was great news. And then Russell becomes a good playable option as well. So having Drinkwater out, having Graham out, we can do a double loop fairly comfortably. Obviously, the wing fullback position will be a good one to loop, given we have Kiraz there as well. And we can muck around with Garrick and Manu with their dual positions and stuff like that, which is going to be cool. So trade-wise, do we need to this week? Probably not. Should we? Probably not. I know 25k in the bank, it's not really like you're going to move on anyone of too much importance to one of these top guys. Like, you'd love a Yo, obviously, each and every week, but yeah, no, not a big score from DC or Munster this week, so you're not really missing out on them. Like, Latrell could be an option for sure, but how you get there, like, do we use one trade and go Drinkwater Latrell and get real funky? But we also have, as I said, the loopers in at least one looper we can this week with Drinkwater out, so something to think about. It's probably not at this point. Let me know your thoughts on the People's Squad and what you would do. I was ranked 69 overnight, and of course, seems to be the way each and every week. We lose a rank or two the next morning and end up at 70. And as I said, yesterday was a bit of a disaster in terms of point scoring, and my guys with Penasini 35, we had Papali'i 39, Bateman 43 to finish things off yesterday, which was pretty disgusting. Obviously, Hopgood was solid with his 38, which was lovely, and then Horsburgh the 61. But again, very highly owned. It was my pods in Penasini, Papali'i, and Bateman, and then DCE. So my 4 guys that I needed to do well didn't. I had one that did in Tedesco at 63, which was cool. But Garrick at 48 was like kind of just on point with how he should be scoring. Fafita, highly owned, but not everyone. So 56 for him. But yeah, it was my pods that didn't work out this week. And, the guys against me and Payne Haas and these guys that, 40 odd % owned in the top 100, top 1,000, they dominated. And that's why I lost some ranks this week. So to be honest, if yesterday went pretty well, and I just copped the 42 from DCE and get some good scorers from, Penasini, if I get a 40 odd from him, if I get 50 from Papali'i and Bateman, then I think we're sitting about 60th, which would mean, we would have made some ranks this week. But not the worst in the world. We were 64th last week into 70. One trade still remaining, best 70k in the bank or something, which is cool. So, yeah, it might be needed at some point. Don't have to trade this week. We have Drinkwater out, and we do have plenty of looping ability. We've got Manu sitting on the bench there. So hopefully we can loop between Penasini, likely. One of those centers in Manu or Garrick is going to have to play in the wing fullback slot. We do have Valen Stefade. We can try and get a good looping score out of him when we have Max King returning. So hopefully don't have to play one of those. Do we have to play all of them? How's it going to work? One of those guys goes out. Yeah, it's really would be looping Valence on me. So unless we made a trade for a wing fullback or something like that, likely we're going to have to play everyone and just loop Val, which would be fine. I'm really annoyed at the moment. The bench hasn't really come together, has it? Brendan Hands, we thought was safe. Did well for us for a bunch of weeks, and then he's gone skis. Cole Hoon, unfortunately, he's not getting a spot in the side either. So there's two guys that are unplayable, and then we likely to have one out every week. I don't have any Broncos, so that helps for next week. But Val, do you want to be playing him week to week? No. King, we're fine with. And then I've got I'm at least playing an extra center each week because that's my cover for that as well. So it's not super exciting with the squad at the moment. I just don't think we have the team to be able to push ranks. I definitely think we can hold steady given we have a lot of the big guys except for Payne Haas and Yo. Carrigan, obviously, this week as well. And I think the Broncos week we should be able to do pretty well. But other than that, we'll be in a little bit of trouble to actually gain ranks. So the goal right now, I think, is just going to be to stay in the top 100. Having an extra trade, if we do happen to lose one more big player, I think that's going to be helpful given the trade situation from some other people that might be ahead of me with the zero trades and stuff. I will have a little bit of a look on footystatistics.com through the week for you guys and show you that as well, just to let you know what their situations are with trades and see if there maybe is a chance for us to sort of catch up. As I said, probably in if not this week, but next week in the Broncos bye, before we happen to run out of trades. And I suppose the other question this week is could I move on from Brendan Hands and go straight to a Joey Lussick? Yes, another eel. I could have a look around, but at that price point, to be able to get a 40 plus kind of score and a playable option each and every week in Lussick, and obviously gives me cover for hooker if I do happen to have an injury. That's cool. But do we want to just wait one more week and then with 3 rounds to go, maybe launch that last trade if we can get through next week as well? Because there's obviously a high chance that an injury happens or a suspension happens to one of the top guys, and then we do need to use that trade. So, that's where my squad's looking at the moment, holding annoying players like Papali'i. I should have followed the crowd on that one, unfortunately. Yeah, he just looked like he did that 80-odd, just really rode to me, and he did it effortlessly. And I just kept calling that he didn't look the same. And then I saw that one game and that was it. And shows the guys that, what to say, one hot day doesn't make a summer. Same with some of these players. And just take a moment with me, guys, to mourn the loss of the players that go to Tigers, unfortunately. And that's an IPAP situation. My big hope this week is obviously that the first game goes well. And Manly. We need DCE and Garrick to do solidly, especially DCE being lower ownership than Garrick, in the 40-odd% in the top 100, top 1,000. We need him to get closer to the 50 mark, would be delightful. And let's hope there's no super low game like Nico Hines got, because that would definitely give me a tough time being able to really improve this week. And I believe that Eels play Broncos. Yeah, so that could be tough as well. So, it could be a little bit tough week. Hopefully, as I said, next week against the Broncos might be the one to push onward. So let's have a quick look at rankings, and we didn't make any ground up. Nige had a 1120. Ben had a big one, I think, 1192, 1115 from Todd, and Brenton, as he said, made a little bit of ground up, 1147. So most people are somewhere around the 1100 mark, 1150 odd. These are all the top scorers, guys. Obviously 1193. Yeah, some really good scores in that top 10. Good stuff to those guys. A long way ahead of me. Let's say we look where 50th is. So 21059. 21,139. Yep, so 80 points from me as 70th all the way to 50th. So that's pretty good. I guess not too far away, which is nice. Obviously, as I said, the top guys are just very clear on top at the moment. There's 290 odd points separating first and sixth, which is pretty crazy. So that's that. Let's move to private group. Matty had a big one, which was good, 1167. He moves into 33rd. Very, very cool. Will, hot on my tail. Beat him by 3 this week, so he doesn't go past me, which is cool. Scoop had a good one, 11.56. Sam there, 11.74, which was lovely. So he moves into 135. Mitch at 11.52. So most of the guys in the top, 9 got over 1100, which is really, really cool. Awesome stuff there. We know who's winning my normal league. And head-to-heads for me. So I believe head-to-head, that was a prelim. So I got through that one, which is good. I believe this one here, the Rudley's Constellation Cup, first v second, I'd imagine, was me and Eddie, and he pumped it this week. Had all the gun players, obviously Payne Haas and the like, so snuck through him on that one. I believe Angela Broncos was a qualifying. No, it wasn't. Damn it, that was just a normal round there. So I was able to get through Gargarov, which is the last round. So prelim in that one next week, it'll come up later in the week, which will be cool. But I got through the Ham-Ted, so I'll get a week off in that one. Battle Log podcast just to finish. I'm still 4th as a Cowboys fan and 4th in the Jamie Brown fan club or appreciation society, whatever it is. Very interesting up top. So Stuart, Chris, and myself, all very much the same score. Stuart, 1100 on the dot. Chris, the same as me. So made no ground. Up on Chris there, who's the closest to me there. And then Eddie really pulled away and got ahead of Stuart. So very well done. He's in 18th, which is crazy. 23rd for Stuart and 52nd for Chris. Obviously 70 for myself. Lockie ends in top 100, 97. Good on you, Lock. Is that first time this year? I'm not sure. We'll have to check. And then a couple of all right scores, a couple of lower ones. Mark just a tad under me. Tristan, TK. We call him Tristan. A little bit under that. And that's all from there that are in the hunt. Sort of in the top 1,000 really goes down to what? Chris there. Yeah. Which is his head-to-head team, I imagine. Chris C. He's got the 2 in there. So what do we got? How many? Is that 9? 9 of us in the top 1,000, which is pretty good. There's a big gap there from TK down to Ross, that's for sure. But that's the round results, guys. Let me know your thoughts, what you'd be doing in both the squads. Let me know what you're doing in your team, obviously before team lists and the like. But it sounds like we'll all be fine. Not sure what's happened with Lomax, if he's going to cop anything, but we'll find out in the next sometime today for sure. And definitely tomorrow if he does go to a judiciary or if anything happens with that. It was not great, the head slam. Definitely was rocked, and I'm glad he obviously is okay, Davey, because he's had a couple of issues with head knocks in the this year especially. So hopefully he's okay. Came back on and played, but they can have delayed stuff as well. So that's that, guys. See you in the next one.